Tripods are great for filming yourself, but if you want the camera to pan and tilt while you move around in the frame, you're out of luck. But since the release of AI, perhaps your video doesn't have to be so static forever. And you also won't need to worry about learning any editing tricks to make it work. I have here the Sony ZV-E1, and with the AI tech inside, we'll be using the auto frame setting to track ourselves in different scenarios to see if AI is actually useful. The closest I got to this effect was the DJI RS2 Pro Combo, which had a tracking feature for panning and tilting. But with all the setup time, it just becomes unattractive to use. At that point, I believe no tech in the world at a decent price is going to allow me to track myself at the quality that I wanted. Until the Sony ZV-E1 arrived, and it changed my mind about what the AI could actually do. I tried this out at the tennis court to see how well it could track me while on a tripod. Keep in mind that you are only able to use the auto frame feature in 4K, and you can't use clear image zoom. So when I was using my APS-C lenses, it really couldn't get rid of the vignetting. You really have to use full frame lenses. Normally, it follows by using face tracking, but once your face gets a little too small on a wide angle lens like this, yeah, it stops tracking. When using a full frame telephoto lens like the Tamron 70-180, although I was far from the camera, my face was still pretty visible, that it was able to track me with differing levels of crop, large, medium, and small. When it came to hanging out in the park, if you look closely, you'll notice that there is motion blur when it follows me. I was shooting 24 frames per second at a shutter speed of 1/50, so yes, there will be motion blur, but it seems a little more exaggerated with the speed of the tracking. I tried to imitate those dancing TikTok videos to see how the camera would track me, and yeah, you're just better off using a static shot and using a plugin to track your face instead. In a more formal setting, the church or any seminar venue would make good use of this feature. If you don't already have or use PTZ cameras or pan tilt zoom cameras, then you could just stick this on a tripod and track your speaker or musician effortlessly. It just won't be reliable for 4K, which is the default resolution for this feature, because this camera is prone to overheating. I get 40 to 50 minutes of 4K at 24 frames per second. But perhaps your copy may do better than mine. Now, the AI in this camera isn't just about tracking the front of your face. It actually is able to track you from the back of your head as well. I was shooting some video of my wife playing the piano, and the auto framing caught the back of my head and followed me all the way through. As you see, it does pretty well. But if you think it was limited to humans, guess again. It also tracks the back of your dog's head too. The AI in this camera is pretty useful with its auto framing feature, even if it can't replace a human. But for most scenarios, I believe I can rely on it to frame and track me when no one else can. Like in this video, where the entire video is filmed by AI.